Then thank you.
Okay.
Hi, good day, everyone. So today we are in the Thinking Athlete series, which is the fourth and also the final series of the lecture that we carried out. The first three series were interconnected. The fourth series is basically sharing with you evidence of practices of emerging texts and science on various aspects of badminton. Yeah. So before we move into the presentation today is basically a discussion. It's not a lecture at all. A discussion of how we are going to actually apply the technologies here. So there are four areas of discussion today. Is actually the first is that the practice of swish and speed. So we'll go further on what is swish and speed. Second, we'll move into the area of specificity. If you listen to the third lecture, you would have looked into the principle of trainings, right? So if you understood principle of training, there were a mention of specificity in training, yeah. So we're going to discuss on how the present technology is disrupting specificity in training, yeah. Then after that, moving forward, we will actually also cover cognitive training, an element which is very important in badminton because decision making, reaction time, anticipation is key element, and how meta technology is aiding in this area of training. Yeah. The last but not least is actually we're going to go into the recovery technologies that's moving forward. So the reason why the entire presentation is based on technology, because we got to understand as we progress, we are in the 21st century. Uh, in the 18th century and also the 19th century, the progress between the progress is actually is by every century. So there is a major technology will come in and disruption is by century. Yeah. Then after that, you moved into 20th century. The progress and disruption is every decade. So moving into 21st century, basically the disruption is happening every 2 years. Yeah. So we are in a very exciting time where new technologies are coming in, and these are actually changing the way that how things are going to be conducted and done in the future. And this affects every walk of society. And sports does not exist in vacuum. So we as people who are practicing sports will need to actually understand what are the technologies that's going to be disruptive and is going to aid us and change the dynamics of sports moving forward. Yeah. So for our first topic of swish and speed, yeah, very famously, everyone knows this CR7. Who is this person? But the reason I've taken football because one of the most watched sport event in the world is actually the English Premier League, and you can easily see every time they go to the sidelines and they actually drink and they actually speed out, and this is what we call a swish and speed. Yeah. People might be wondering, have you ever thought why do they do that? Why just they don't drink? Yeah. So just before we move forward, for people who don't understand what is swish and speed, just a small explanation of what is swish and speed.
Wow. I was just swishing around my carrot juice so that I could enjoy it more. When you swish it around for a while, then you can taste it for longer. So you can swish and spit, or you can swish.
So you understand, swish is basically guggling, yeah. So you guggle and you spit. So that's basically the word they use, swish and spit. So you don't have to get confused. It's basically guggling and spitting out. So moving forward, swish and spit. So I want to share what are the things happening. You can go to Google Scholar or you can go to any open sources and actually can do a search on swish and spit. This is a fast, it's an area of interest which is currently being actually explored a lot in the research articles. Yeah. So some of the articles speaks about carbohydrate mouth rinsings. Some actually speaks about the times. So many studies have actually done has been conducted in the area of swish and speed. So this is not me saying. I'm actually quoting on the areas of research that's been conducted earlier. Yeah. So what does basically this entire article or knowledge says? Yeah. It says that when you actually swish and speed spots ring during your when you're playing interval, it shows to boost performance in endurance event lasting longer than 30 minutes. So basically, if you're playing a badminton game and if your game lasts more than 30 minutes, and swish and speed strategy could be a strategy that you can actually undertake. So moving forward, what is important? Let's not go into details of it. You later can Google this. I'm not interested in giving you a lecture on what swish and split, but basically, I just want to give you what are the key take-home messages. Yeah. So one of the key areas that researchers they spoke about is contact time. So the research have looked into various concepts of speech, swish and spit. Yeah, they're looking into 5 minutes, 5 second goggling to 10 second of goggling. So which has the best effect? And also the study has shown that if you cover 10 seconds, 10 seconds is better. The longer you actually goggle, it's better. And for any event which is 30 minutes trial and above. So what does this do? Yeah, basically swish and it has shown that it lowers the perceived exertion, the perceived rate of exertion. So I've explained earlier what is perceived rate of exertion in previous classes is basically from 0 to 10. What is the level of exertion? What is the level of tiredness? Yeah. So if you feel that this is very stressful, this is very tired, very tired is 10. So if you don't feel anything at all, is 0. So even during your bout, even during your competition, there's an RPE rate. So people, when in the studies they have actually done, whoever does the swish and speed, they tend to record a lower RPE, perceived RPE, yeah. And also they have impact to their high intensity activities. So very short, what happens? Why when we actually goggle and we actually speed out, what happens? Actually, there's no metabolic reasons. It's not like you drink, metabolic reaction is happening in your body and it aids your performance. It does not happen in such a way. Okay, so basically the functional MRI, which is the FRMI, showed that certain brain regions light up during the MRI. Yeah? In the response to carbohydrate presence in your mouth. So when you actually goggle, your receptors actually can actually sense what are the things inside, and it gives a signal. You're basically cheating. So this is a Pinocchio over here. It's basically you are cheating your brain. Yeah. So the question here is that how long you can actually cheat your brain to say that this is helping you. Yeah. So it says that anything above 30 minutes but lower than 2 hours. So if you actually have any event which is higher than 2 hours, then eventually your brain will understand that nothing has came inside, which is aiding in terms of metabolic aspects. Yeah. So as the 30 minutes to below 2 hours is the time line that you can actually cheat your brain by actually doing this swish and speed. So what is the application to badminton? So I know I've seen a lot of badminton athletes. They like to actually take a lot of breaks, but I've rarely seen them swish and spit. They took very small amounts of drinks in between. It is something that you can actually look into, because perhaps it gives you the same sensation, because it gives you a sensation that you are actually taking some intake, but instead of you actually drinking water, is it something that you can actually take as an alternative uh, measure for you? So swish and spitting sports drink really can be applied to badminton simply because of the high intensity intervals. The present badminton game is very high intensity. So it also enhances your endurance and gives you a perceived exertion which is lower. You feel that once you swish and spit, you feel less tired, yeah, less exhausted. So it gives the brain some stimulus, yeah. And after that, research have shown that it boosts the performance by 2% improvement for a 1 hour exercise or intense bout, yeah, which is basically badminton is played around 60 to 90 minutes of intense bout. Um, and because it lasts more than 30 minutes, so if we basically, this is for high intensity, higher than 30 minutes bout. If you have discard, you can actually practice this practice. So this is basically we are adopting a practice which is being used in cycling, in football, and also rugby to a certain extent, to badminton. It's something that you can actually explore with your coaches and also the people around you. Yeah, you can try it out during training route, high intensity trainings, see whether it works for you, measure your RP, and if it really works and you're confident, then you can take it into competition. Straight away, don't adopt implement something which is not tried and tested, it is not measured into competition. Yeah, this is just us sharing something that you can look into further. So moving forward, the second area of disruption that we are actually going to look at is actually training revolution. Yeah. So I know that you guys like to look watch movies, right? So you have this exoskeleton. Exoskeleton is basically whatever supports you. You have this kind of robotic arm to go into military. But would you have ever imagined that there is a high performance exoskeleton actually in the world currently, which is making trend, changing the way and revolutionizing training. Yeah, and we are very proud to say that this revolutionary product actually was envisioned from within Malaysia and currently is being applied and used by Olympic champions in US, also the various EPL Premier Leagues football teams in UK as well as Australia and New Zealand as well. Yeah. So when we speak about training, one of the major principle within training principle is specificity, right? So we know that whenever the coach actually plans out, he speaks about specificity. There are so many programs which is agility training and this plyometric trainings, and coaches always argue that let's do whether it's useful to do plyometric training in court or whether you should do plyometric training in gyms. So these are the questions that always goes in within the coach's mindset. These are the ancient argument that always exists in the sports. Yeah. So traditionally, this is how we tend to see, because remember we looked into the periodization program and we say that there is, when we look into periodization classes in the third class, there is a very specific division between GPP, general preparation phase. We have specific preparation phase. So general preparation phase is where you actually, it's an off season. It's an off season that you actually take around 2 to 3 months or perhaps 4 months for you to do programs that actually prepares you for specific preparation phase. But GPP, for developing a junior athletes going up, that it is very important because we want them to actually build something. But for an elite athlete is already there competing year in and year out, taking a big portion of time during GPP, uh, it's now a question. There's a lot of question being asked. Yeah, so there are, even during GPP, coaches are discussing whether you actually should increase the time of training in the court by you doing on-court plyometric training. So there are already reasons giving, yeah, because on-court plyometric training gives you sport-specific movements. It works on footwork and agility, which are specifics, reaction time, which are specific, court awareness, yeah, integration with skill training. So that's the reason why even during GPP, coaches like to actually do the plyometric training in the court compared to the gym. But there are pros and cons between two programs. So what if I tell you that now we have a revolutionary product, a revolutionary technology that actually disrupts this entire scenario? So this technology is not new. It's a technology that we have tested over 2 Olympic period and also developed. And currently, after being developed in Malaysia, it has been positioned worldwide now for to be marketed. Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Hoyenne, a badminton women's singles player in Malaysia. Using the Lila product, loading with the weight just in 1 hour brings an intensity to me in the training up to 60 to 70%. I could have trained 3 or 4 hours, but with this load, 1 hour and a half, I could reach out to 3 to 4 hours of normal training because it gives me the intensity that I need. As I load off, I can feel the difference in my speed, my explosiveness, and my strength. It's always attached to my body, so it feels comfortable to train all the muscles that I need on court.
Okay. So imagine what you're doing in gym. Yeah, one of the biggest question that always the coaches will ask specialists or conditioning specialists is that how specific we can get the training in gym. Yeah. So this question is currently being answered by this technology. So whatever that you see on this technology is basically answering all the things that all the specific training, the specific strength and power training. You can actually do it while playing badminton, while doing the actual sports movement. Yeah. So, and this is actually gaining traction where a lot of research article is being studied and being published on the efficacy of this particular technology uh, on various sports and also and its application to get. So this is really changing the way that we are actually doing the training blocks. Yeah. So in GPP, if I want to do maintenance, remember the training principle. One is specificity and second is maintenance. If I have an elite athlete, so already there at that level, I don't want to take him, break his time from sport specific and put him under GPP. I want straight away to actually go into an SPP where he just carries on doing maintenance. And after that, whatever development that he needs to do is very specific on the court. And these are some of the technology that allows you to do that because it has targeted weight placement on the body, which actually enhances training movement. Yeah. So I believe that Mr. Dana is actually speaking to Joey. Spoken to Joey actually. Joey is the founder of this technology. He is formerly the senior consultant, conditioning specialist with the National Sports Institute of Malaysia. Who is currently the CEO of Lila. So Joey will be doing a special session for badminton Asia athletes next year, explaining about how this applies specifically. Yeah. And as I mentioned, this is typically the entire Lila suit. So it's not only on your arm, but it's overall your lower limb, midsection, and wherever the loading is required. Yeah. So first, we spoke about the physical distraction. Second is that let's look into cognitive training. Yeah. So cognitive training is basically the brain, how you think. Yeah. So in sports, in the performance loop of sports, there's perception, there's cognition, there's execution, there's sensory stimulation. So today we're going to speak about what are the technologies that helps you in making decision. And as you know, one of the fastest sport, you know how fast the shuttlecock travels, right? So it travels at hundreds of kilometers per hour. And basically these are the fastest sport. For being fastest sport, you can't react. You can't wait until the person completes its particular technique or skill for you to react. That is too late. That is not a level of elites. If you want to become world champion, you want to belong to the super series and win super series, then you got to actually really work out your cognition. Yeah. Cognition training is something which is very important in badminton, especially badminton, ping pong, because you require split second, or even sub-second decision making. Yeah. So what does cognitive training in sports does? Yeah. One is enhance your mental process like memory, attention, and decision making, as I mentioned earlier. And second is that I know that you have done all this. These are the old way of doing things. You have the light, you have the reaction, light reaction tables, yeah, and you implemented that into your sports. So these are the old method of doing it. Today's technology is disrupting that because we can actually do all that, including building in your anticipation for a specific targeted uh, opponent using the augmented reality, which is AR VR. Yeah. And obviously, AR VR, you guys have seen it for gamification. But besides gamification, you can also use it for your training. And this also changes the way that the game is played. And also in the future, it will change the way the game is you are trained, yeah, because through meta AR, VR, augmented reality in the future, currently we are already doing that. So we know that what is going to happen is that you can actually start training your coach. A coach can be placed in Korea, but your training can happen worldwide because of that augmented reality technology. Yeah. So this is going to change the way, and this is going to disrupt the way sports is actually being coached and played. So how application to badminton cognitive skill enhancement works. So basically, AR VR helps you to transport you from to a virtual badminton court. Yeah. As remember in my first class, I have spoken about how is different between Chong Wei and also Lindan, the two legends of the game. I'm still relevant to this. So these are super athletes, but I've always said that how come Lindan is always one step ahead or 10 yards ahead of Chong Wei every time a Olympics final or Olympic event comes in. So one of the main things that if you really look into what happens to Lindan is that before an Olympic final, Olympic games, he is always off the competition chart for 3 months. He's taken off the competition tour. And what they do actually is they do an AR, augmented reality training. And the only person that he needs to concentrate and be better is actually Chongwei. So in today's world, everything is data. They're studying you left, right, and center. They know everything about you. There are data and statistics, and this helps to build the back end of the artificial intelligence. And when you feed that into a meta, basically you can spar with anyone in the world, yeah, in this AR system. So as far as preparation is as preparation is as far as preparation is concerned, you can actually do a preparation in lab, yeah, and you can come. This has already been practiced, this has been applied, but today it is becoming a norm, yeah. Linda started this in 2008 Olympics. So basically, this is not a new technology, but this technology was applied at highest level and now becoming norm for everyone. Yeah. Okay. Then second is that it helps you to simulate the fast-paced rallies for improved times. This is for training. One is you prepare for competition. Second is you also can use your AR, VR for training purposes. So, and third is actually to challenge players in dynamic scenarios for quick decision making. So imagine in a situation that you, in your SWOT analysis, you say you don't have strong pool of athletes to spar with. So these are one of the solutions you can look into. Okay, you can start sparring with athletes different scenarios using the AR and VR system. Yeah, to bring yourself up to mark with the decision making.
Well, Kelly, new high-tech sports startups are embracing augmented reality and virtual reality to train athletes. VC's investing $91 million into sports technology companies so far this year and $185 million last year. That's up from just $28 million in 2019. Status Pro combines AR, VR, and player data to create training programs. It just raised over $5 million from investors, including the 49ers and Verizon's venture arms. Its co-founders, former NFL pro Andrew Hawkins and Troy Jones, say COVID was a huge catalyst for adoption by a half dozen NFL teams and more.
The NFL coaches were saying, hey, I don't have my guys in one place. You know, what can we use to help solve that problem? And then also be prepared in the event that something like this happens again.
We understand exactly what it's like being on the field. So we feel like with that data point of like real life experience mixed with what we know about the technology, we've been able to take the technology and the baseline of it and apply it in a completely different way.
Another example of this type of company, SkyTech Sport, is a skiing and snowboarding simulator to both train athletes and to teach beginners. And Zwift, which blends video games with fitness equipment, has nearly 4 million people registered to take virtual bike rides or participate in virtual bike riding competitions, kind of like esports. And while these tools are starting off more for serious athletes, companies that make them aim to bring down prices to make them more accessible to folks like us.
So basically, this just shows the what is happening in the world trend. There are enough startups that's coming in, because when there are startups coming up, cropping up, then you know this technology will eventually trickle down to you, for you to use. So as far as Asia, you might think that this is the worldwide. As far as Asia concerned, Taiwan just launched its ASPN Sports Tech Accelerator. So this ASPN Sports Tech Accelerator is for the whole Asia Pacific region. And after that, in under Malaysia, we also have got accelerators, and we have actually approved Meta's sports meta projects. And sports meta augmented reality is not only applies for training, it also applies for rehabilitation. Currently, we do have a champion meta company that works into sports rehabilitation, where you can actually do rehabilitation modules whilst being at home. Yeah. There's an example of how AR, augmented reality is going to affect badminton. This technology might look basic for you, simply because the technology is there, but the data to make it more intelligent is not there. But simply because the startups are being enabled now, and they are interacting with institutes. And if you know that under Asia, there are associations for Sports Institute Asia. Uh, Under them, we have more than 20 to 30 sports institute in Asia was coming under the umbrella of Asia Association of Sports Institute. So there are massive data. So what are the sports institutes currently doing? The sports institute are transferring those data to all these startups, and you will see a huge hike in the intelligence, AR, augmented reality being intelligent in the future and very specific to your needs. This is happening now. So before we move into the next topic, let me just recap on the AR, VR. So metaverse is something that's going to happen, and even today, as we start this class, in Malaysia, we have a scenario that there is a spike in the COVID, and the new variant of COVID is happening. And in 2019, 2020, the whole sports actually had a disruption. The whole world stopped. So what is going to happen if suddenly there's a scenario where we actually have to stop trading? Yeah. The question I've always some of the questions that we have always asked is like what we can do with our athletes at home and who are actually not centralized, how to monitor them. So meta technology is something that is going to actually help us, because not only it helps you for sport specific training, it also helps you for actually strength and physical training. It also helps us to actually monitor and introduce rehabilitation training as well for athletes. Yeah. And now Meta is also going for coaching, so we can actually have interactive coaching program taking place in the Meta world as well. Yeah, Metaverse. So this is what is going to happen in sports, and this is what happening in sports. It's going to change the way that the entire ecosystem sports function in the future. Yeah? So moving forward, the third element of discussion is actually recovery. Yeah. When we speak about recovery, this is basically what you have been exposed to. Of course, we speak about sleep and recovery. We speak about nutrition and hydration. Obviously, under nutrition and hydration, there are so many lectures. You can go and watch online what are the advisories for carbohydrate, protein diets, hydration, supplements. Plenty of articles and also knowledge in that online. Yeah. Then after that, water immersions, so cold, hot, contrast water immersions, compression, active recovery, stretching, massage, minimal evidence, yeah, like cryo chambers, EMS vibration. So this was basically the traditional way of doing recovery. By this particular thing was created by Shona Halson under NCA guideline, yeah. But what is happening now is that there are lots of technology in the last 5 years. I would not even say 10 years. In the last 5 years, there are plenty of technology that has actually flooded the market, which disrupts the entire way of how we actually look into recovery and implementation for an athlete. So the first thing is actually the wearable and interactive technology. Yeah. So when we speak about wearable interactive technology, there's so many things that you as an athlete. So what you wear. So you have your garments. These are interactive garments. And today we are actually doing material research, look into nanotechnology, which we can actually put for regulation of temperature. So if your core temperature becomes hot, we actually can regulate the garment to bring it down. This is for sports like hockey and stuff like that, which is already happening in the pipeline. Yeah. So we can also look into whether you are a person that genetically, when we study, you tend to actually sweat a lot. So we actually can, using nanotechnology, create inner garments, compression garments, which actually helps you address that, who has a higher absorption rate, which is lighter in nature. So things are changing fast, which is addressing specificity and also the requirement of athlete. So every single thing today, until the bracelet that you're wearing, which actually have all kind of sensors inbuilt, yeah, even the specs that you're wearing, it gives you the cue on how you actually your retina placement, how your focus area is concerned. Basically, these are technologies in if you look into marketing, these are one of the things that they look into. They look into the eyeball, yeah. So before they place an advertisement board, they look into eyeballing. So what is the most best area of eyeballing, because they look into where the eye is focused. So they use this kind of technology. But what we have done is that we have started using this technology in martial arts. We have used it about 10 years ago in Malaysia when we studied, because we want to know using this eyeball technology is how to predict the reaction of an opponent coming in. So basically looking into his eye movement and also his head movement, whether we can predict what he's going to do. And this has also been used by Spanish team in predicting deep penetration in hockey. Yeah. So, but New Zealand has a different feedback. They actually had a spec for their rowing team. The spec was actually giving them real-time feedback of the posture of the rowers in real time. So basically, when he's actually rowing, he actually can correct his postures because it gives the real-time feedback. Well, so these are types of wearable interactive technologies that has been in place. Smartwatch is something that is available everywhere. It was first introduced, under Australia, we had GPS spots, and through GPS spots, and we used to have smart watches. It's no more exclusive for the rich. It's very cheap, available. Every single athlete can actually use it. Yeah. Before this, we used to actually buy expensive GPS spots and give to athletes. Nowadays, these are available in the market. You can actually go and buy yourself. Yeah. Similar with socks. Even the socks have got sensors. We actually have sensors that actually measure the plantar pressures, your feet pressures, look into how your feet being placed, your heat sensors, yeah, to look into whether the loading in your joints and also your ankle, how it's happening. So these kind of things are really changing the way that scientists takes data, extract data, and how they use data for your performances. Yeah. And of course, this is actually to measure your polar heart rate and stuff like that, your displacement in real time. Yeah. So things are really changing. So we are also looking into interactive technologies, like you need to sleep. Before this, we say, okay, let's go and sleep. So even now, everything we want to measure, even your sleep is measured, even your bed is actually smart now. Okay, it actually can look into your biorhythms, biometrics, and after that, looks into your health monitoring, interacts with your watch while you're wearing it. Then after that, prepares a report and also guides you in terms of giving you feedback on what is your sleep qualities and stuff like that. Yeah. So there are many technologies, as I mentioned, there are many technologies in the area of recovery that's coming and is being mentioned. So one of it is actually compression garments. Yeah, basically compression garments being used currently. I know one of the technology easily you can. How many of you all have been using compression garment here? Anyone using compression garment? No. Okay. Do you know what is the benefit of compression garment? I will not be actually going in and giving you detail of what it does. What you can do is that since I've given you what are the tools, what are the devices, you can actually do a search and look into the knowledge behind it. So that is one of the actions that helps you to understand yourself. Because if I'm going to feed you everything after the class today, you're not going to remember. So I've given you the keywords. So compression garment is something that you can actually go. You can look into thermal garments. So there are compression garments which are already infused with thermal regulation. Yeah, if you're coming from country which actually has monsoons, cold weather and stuff like that. And after that, we also have neurofeedback systems. Yeah, neurofeedback system is basically syncing everything. Your EEG feedback. Yeah, is all the system is already available. It's available for you to actually buy and use it. Okay. So go and see what is neural feedback system which is available on the market that you can actually use. Okay. Then we also have the whole body cryotherapy. So whole body cryotherapy again is for recovery when you have very high intensity training. Yeah. So imagine that you actually wear the Lila wearable and you do training. So what happens is when you wear wearable and do training is that the intensity increases manifold. Yeah. What you get in 2 hours, you actually load your system in 10 minutes. If you don't believe, you can actually try later. Yeah. When we have the specific session, and if God willing, when you come for a Badminton Asia camp, we can actually have a sponsored session with Lila later for them to actually give you the trainings there. So when you have this kind of high intensity training, one of the best thing to do, and this is another emerging trend, yeah, is the whole body cryotherapy. We have the cryo bots as well. So again, the whole body cryotherapy. And one advisory is that I know these are technology available, but you are elite athletes or athletes, you got to be careful before you actually undergo this kind of training. Please look into and consult exercise physiologists, get what are the protocols required. Yeah, just don't go to any commercial center and get yourself immersed and after that do damage to yourself. Yeah, it is actually very helpful, but you got to make sure that you adhere to right protocols. Then after that, you have the percussion therapy. Percussion therapy is basically giving you a massage. Okay, it's the layman term is actually massage. So a lot of machines that comes in with massage. Yeah, so you have the massage chair, you have this percussion therapy. So it stimulates your muscles. Yeah. Then you also have the portable hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Because in my institute, for us to actually create the whole body cryotherapy, it is millions of ringgit. But currently the technology, because of adaptation of the technology, it is becoming cheaper and in a very, very portable manner. Similar with hyperbaric oxygen therapy, we have modulars which also cost us millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. But currently, you have that as a portable system. So portable system it infuses oxygen. So if you have any recovery, your tissue needs to recover, and you're recovering from injury. We have issues. Remember, like Chong Wei in 2016 Olympics, he had an ACL 3 months before the Olympics. For you to just recover from ACL itself, not playing, recover from ACL itself requires you 3 months minimum. But what we did is actually in 3 months, he was actually in the playing level. So we got to do a lot of things, including having Alter-G anti-gravity treadmills, for him to train. So to ensure that his cardiovascular function was on par pre-injury, just to ensure that we only targeted that area of injury, which is the ACL. So similar, and we have actually put him, he actually literally slept in the hyperbaric oxygen chambers, but we got to actually transport him to our chamber, and that was not comfortable. But today, now you actually have portable hyperbaric oxygen therapy that you can take along with you any international competitions, anywhere that you go. So these are emerging technologies, and it's getting cheaper. Yeah. Then after that, we also have this one. I think better than me, Mr. Dana can give you some testimonial because I've seen him using this, and because of him using this, I have actually done some research on this. Yeah, so basically, this is a toxic-free technology. It looks into radiation. So basically, our body, it's not only we talk about systemic, we're not physical, systemic, whatever is inside is systemic, physical recovery, hydration. We also look into radiation, energy level, energy level in the body. So one of the technology that is coming up in the area of sports is actually energy balancing, which is currently the entire thing. This entire thing, toxic-free technology, allows you to actually have a charged bottle for you to drink, and allows your body to be charged as well and to maintain balance for recovery. And moving forward is something that we have already done. Sports genomic is something that we are actually looking into seriously, as well as actually validating the various phenotypes. Phenotypes is what are the different protein markers that works for sports. So we want to validate that because we know there are a lot of providers in the world which actually says that they have testing on genetics which actually validates sports. But what we are doing in the institute is that we want to actually validate those phenotypes, and hence we are actually undertaking a national level project which looks into phenotype validation. And through that validation, we can be very sure when we say that, okay, a person, the genetic testing says that you're prone for ACL, the validity is very high, reliability is very high. So this is another emerging trend. It looks into every facet of you. So I know through the genomic markers, what you're predisposed to, what are the injuries you're predisposed to. It means we can actually do a pre-rehabilitation program for you just from a genetic markers, because we know you have a very high tendency for, ACL, or muscles there, stuff like that. And second is that it also gives you very specific diets. What is genetically, what diet works for you? Mediterranean diet, or what diet works for you. So then based on that, the nutritionist can actually go into specific, because the efficacy of the food is very important, genetically speaking as well. And second is that through genetic, we also can look into precision medicine and also precision supplements. Obviously, we know that we are providing supplements to athletes. Okay, the dietitian will sit down with you, the nutritionist will sit down with you and say that, okay, based on your program, based on your blood tests or whatever, these are the types of supplements that's required. So now we are going even further, looking into your genetic marker and looking into which supplements actually works for you. So it's now we are looking into precision supplements. So these are the things that's changing very much in the area of high performance. So whatever I'm saying, it does not only being applied in Malaysia, but I can guarantee you and I can tell you that this has already been applied in Korean Institute of Sports. It's applied in Japanese Institute of Sports. So all the sports institute in the world is actually doing this. And some of them, they don't communicate and share what are the advanced technologies. Some of them, they communicate, but a lot of things is happening behind the scene. But some of these technologies that you see today is things that already been tried and tested and is now available in the market. It means the institute would have worked on this in 2 to 3 Olympic cycle before. So before I move forward, I just want to get Mr. Dana, you are here?
Mr. Tana is not present.
Oh, okay, Mr. Dana is not in. I thought I can ask him about this toxic-free technology, what benefit he gets, since I don't use it. So this is the only thing that I didn't use yet.
Okay. I will follow
So
up.
since you can ask Mr. Dana, if anyone, you can message him. I've seen him using it, so he's got access to it.
Okay.
Recovery Air gives your body a chance to recover from life. We're aiding in the body's natural.
So this is another one, recovery booth. What I'm showing you is a recovery booth of an international market. We have also produced the recovery booth for our consumption, because of the recovery booth which is being used for international market. It costs us 12,000 ringgit when we converted. So we to make sure that the people can actually apply and use, we actually developed ourselves using our startups, and we actually managed to bring the cost to 3,000 ringgit it for application in Malaysia.
Sense of recirculating blood. Our mission at Therabody has always been to give you the natural wellness solutions that your body needs and empower yourself to treat yourself. Recovery Air does that while you're resting and relaxing.
Recovery air pneumatic compression is really pressure massage, which is going to increase the amount of blood flow from those limbs and back to your heart, as well as increasing kind of circulation in general.
So really, whether you're a serious athlete or you're someone who sits too long throughout your day, this technology will make you feel better.
And it can help reduce fatigue in that area. It can help reduce soreness in that area, and it can ultimately reduce stiffness and swelling as well.
I'm super excited about our all new Recovery Air products. Its effectiveness is unmatched and it's safe.
With so many exclusive technologies, Recovery Air is the world's most advanced compression boot.
The Recovery Air jet boot technology is really next level. We took all of that external cords and pump, put them inside the boot.
There's no more cords. It's easy to take on the road. And now there's really no excuse for you not having the ability to feel better. Recovery Air Prime is simple and easy to use. We've taken out all the guesswork. You throw it on, hit a button, and it's ready to roll. Recovery Air Pro, on the other hand, is our most customizable compression product we have. And you can actually program your own protocol within that product itself. All three products are really meant to integrate into your life.
Our proprietary fast flush technology is all about cycle time. How quickly can you fully inflate that garment and then fully deflate it? If you have more cycles, it means you're going to recover faster and more effectively.
What we really want to do is get to that release, that deflation. That's when good, rich, oxygenated blood flows back toward the limb. And with our fast flush technology, you're getting this every 60 seconds. That's 2 to 3 times faster than competitor products.
All of our Recovery Air garments comes with the exclusive True Grade technology. It's really important that you apply the most pressure further from the heart and then sequentially get lower. This ultimately enhances circulation and does it as the most effective way possible. The unique internal overlapping chambers really allow us to have a single surface on the inside of the garment.
So when you open them up to clean, you wipe it down and you're good to go, and you have a fully hygienic experience.
All of our products, our Prime, our Pro, and our Jet Boot, they all provide the same natural solutions to help your body heal itself. Recovery Air.
So basically, if you look into for those who have gone into Grand Prix Championship, Super Series, you will see that most of the athletes in the top athletes in the world are actually using that. If you go to their hotel rooms after the competition, they will actually be wearing this the whole night because you want badminton is such a sport that today you play high intensity 3 games, 3 sets, then after that the next day you have got to actually play another high intensity game. You got to actually recover. And when we spoke about marginal gains earlier, remember, it's like these are the things that helps you, the small things that helps you. If you don't practice all these, you are at a disadvantage because someone else is actually doing this and actually gives them the edge over you. So today's world, you can't actually live without this because these are technologies that's disrupting the way how it is being played. So initially we spoke about the technology in recovery. So I just want to tell you, the world is changing. Currently, we are one of the key elements in any technology area is actually smart city, smart living. So when you talk about smart city, smart living, it's IoT and the Internet of Things. Things are really changing, and when world changes, the sports, which does not exist in vacuum, is part of the world actually. We change too. So I'm going to actually give you a vision of what we're actually doing into sports. But before that, let's look into how the world is changing.
This is tomorrow morning, and you are brushing your teeth. And at the same time, the city is cleaning itself. Tomorrow, your city will be in your smartphone. You can check the city status, traffic, and air pollution. In the same breath, you will find booking your smart vehicle as easy as ordering food.
This is already happening. We are actually having multiple startups working with us to create this kind of ecosystem. We started 5 years ago for construction of a new building. I'm just giving you this has already been implemented in Japan Institute of Sports, but as you said, Japan Institute of Sports is very secretive. They don't even allow non-national athletes to go into Japanese Institute of Sports. But we had the opportunity simply because we belong to the Asia community, or the Asian Society of Sports Institutes. Yeah. So what we are doing in Malaysia is currently we are creating a gym. Our gyms are very advanced. We already have sensors inbuilt into the gyms, but currently what we're doing is that we are having a new building coming up, and we are actually building it together with fiber cables for IoTs. So our gyms are smart gyms. So why we are doing this? Because we want athletes, every single data of athletes is actually available in their palm. Yeah. So training data is available in the palm, and when they go to their hostel, which is just a walk away, and the hostel is also interactive. Yeah. So just to give you an insight of how the technology that's envisioned for the world for living in future is also changing the way how it affects athletes. Yeah.
You'll drink your last sip of coffee and your smart vehicle will already be waiting for you. Tomorrow, your day will get off to a more enjoyable start. As you drive through town, you can check your personal footprint or actively participate in city issues. There is no rush hour in the morning, no waiting, and no traffic jam. Everything is completely connected and communicates with everything else. Tomorrow, your city will have mobility hubs at every corner. They are a flexible, all-around offer for your personal transport. You can choose and switch whenever you want. Later tomorrow, you are working on your next great idea, while your smart city administration can optimize the city with smart workflows and processes. Everything is in flow. The smart city empties the rubbish bins by itself. It knows where many vehicles are needed and where not. Tomorrow, the air in cities will be clean and parking spaces will become parks. The entire infrastructure is managed decentrally. Tomorrow, the cities will be safer and more worth living in. Tomorrow is great.
So this is how the world is currently moving. Some part of the world has already adopted this technology, but this is what happening. Yeah. This is what we are training athletes to do, because self-aware athletes and athletes in today's information age, you cannot be actually living isolated in a cave. Yeah, you got to actually be open. You got to be open for information. You got to actually be the person nexus of all the things that's happening in the future. The athletes are the nexus for information centers. So after your training, after your training, it's basically an alarm already coming, prompting you to go for recovery based on your intensity of training. All your biomarkers, your smart variables will actually look into the intensity. You don't have to measure your intensity. Intensity will be actually measured using a smart system, and the smart system will actually relay you information. Will pre-book the recovery programs. It will tell you that, okay, let's go for cryotherapy, full body cryotherapy. Let's go for a massage. Yeah. Even if you go to an athlete's cafe, I'm talking about this elite athletes ecosystem. Yeah. Even if you go to a cafe, once you scan in your entry into a cafe, it will straight away tell you these are the calories you have lost for the day based on your inputs given by your wearables, and this is the food choices that you actually have to take. Yeah, so 2 scoops of pasta, one scoop, how many pieces of chicken and stuff like that. So the entire ecosystem athletes were leaving nothing for chances in the future. Things are going to be really, I think, very easy to be athletes, because it's going to be measured. It's going to be very difficult to create the edge, because that is the edge in the future is going to be the technological edge. Yeah. So it's truly an exciting era that we are living in, and simply because a person that sits in the entire ecosystem as a person that looks oversees the sandbox for new emerging technology, I oversee that. I can vouch and tell you that really exciting technologies are coming up, currently are under incubators worldwide, and these are really going to change the face of how sports is being played, how sports is being perceived by everyone. Yeah, this applies for every single segment, including you. Also, the experience of viewer experience, people coming to stadium, that also will change. So we are living in a very modern age. So it makes a lot of sense. You guys are going to be the modern athletes, the athletes of tomorrow. Yeah. After you can actually anticipate looking into this, because one of the frontier of smart city is actually the salt systems. We even work with Dassault to create these kind of things for athletes. So Dassault 3D is actually the smart system for smart cities, and Dassault is actually based in France. So we are anticipating the France Olympic is going to be a very AI interactive Olympics. That will change the face of how things is going to be applied in the future. Yeah. So coming back and how this applies to badminton Asia. When I look into your sports, there are so many things. These are, I call it as ancient issues. Yeah, ancient issues of not having access to support, not having access to technology. This can be solved by actually having AI, interactive technologies, IoTs. Yeah, because as I said, Meta. Badminton Asia can actually work with institutes. I've already spoken to Mr. Dana. There are there are more than 30 to 40 sports institutes in Asia. They are open for collaboration. Badminton Asia can actually sign all these institutes as their official partners. So whenever there are players in Badminton Asia, they can actually be associate or can actually get the services given by the institutes all around Asia. Yeah. And you also actually can create your own meta platforms for you to actually have interactive trainings, coachings. Yeah. Even you want to actually have a session with a psychologist. A psychologist can be the best, but he can be based in Singapore, but he can actually give you counselings. Yeah. Your coaches, you can actually have a strategist as a coach when you go for competition. So basically, he has got access, real-time access to your game, and he can actually give you feedback. And the feedback can be relayed to you using a smart tablet. Yeah, during a game. So things things this is the option. Imagination is your only limitation. Yeah. So you can, whatever that you can imagine can be done, should and can be done in today's world. So there's no limitation. The only limitation is for if we remain to be isolated. Yeah, in today's technology world. So please be positive. Despite all the challenges that we're facing in today's world, the exciting thing is that being an athlete in today's world. Yeah. So with that, I would like to actually just go around, and because it's supposed to be a sharing session, it took me 1 hour to share. So I would like to actually take another 10 minutes or what, to just go around, share the experience, whether you guys are already adopted or using this kind of technology. Please share with us. Yeah. I might actually miss some of the technologies. You might actually be using it. So please be open and share with us so we can take this message together.
Thank you very much, sir. Haydan, Aisha, Ranitma, you can open your microphone, and thank you very much, sir. Let's have some discussion and things. I think Hintu left, and I think, yeah, yeah. Haydan? Yeah, okay. You're in Vietnam now or in Canada, USA?
Yeah, now I just arrived in Vietnam.
Okay. He is participating for Canada, El Salvador, and Mexico. Just came
Yeah,
back.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Have you, Haydan, just watch the technologies and which you are implementing in your daily session?
Yeah, okay.
If you can just share what are the things you're using. Do you have a smartwatch? How you use it? Yeah. Anything else? Just sharing.
Yeah. Haydan, it's on you. What you're using for smart technologies for your competition or training methods?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Are you using smartwatch and other technologies, AI smart things for your training?
No, no. I not use.
Okay.
Ranitma, you use something?
Yes, I have a massage gun and smartwatch.
You have a massage gun, okay,
Yes, sir.
and
And I have a smartwatch.
we have two at least, huh? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, we have.
Yeah. Aisha is from Kazakhstan. I think it's
Aisha.
yeah.
I think this is the first time I'm seeing Aisha. Yeah.
Aisha was in the last session. She was.
Oh, she was. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, да.
На в тренинг-сессионе, на тренировках, какие smart technologies
Нет, я
ты
ничего не использую.
ничего не используешь?
Нет.
Хорошо. She does not much use the smart things for the training and the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is what's happening, guys. Smart things don't have to be very smart. Some of the things are still basic. You can still carry on using that. One of the things that very important for you as athletes developing is actually video analysis. So to get your video data and statistics, so this could be one of the easiest thing you can use. And today everyone has got camera, right? Smart cameras. So your smart camera is basically a video recorder. You can always record your game. You can ask a friend to record your game. Yeah. And if you go into Google Play Store, and also you can search for freewares, freewares that helps you to analyze your games and stuff like that. So these are some of the basic things you can actually do.
What was the freewares?
Yeah, what I do is that I can actually check for you what are the freewares, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
So Dana can actually pass it in if you have a group, we will pass it in the group.
Yeah, we have a group. So if you just pass to the Mr. Tana, and Mr. Tana will share it with us.
There are many freewares. What I'll do is that I'll also send you some of the freewares that helps you to track your eating patterns, your calories. There's specifically for sports, the apps where you develop for athletes actually.
Yeah.
So I will also pass that. You can actually use that. Yeah. So
Yes.
it's in dual language. We also have in Bahasa Malaysia and in English. As long as you can do it in English, there's no issues.
Okay.
So I think if it's nothing, then we can just go around. Any questions for anyone?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hentu, you have a question?
No, sir.
Okay, then with that, thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you
a
very
nice
much.
day. Yeah. Happy
Okay.
holidays, everyone, and Merry
Happy
Christmas. Yeah.
holidays. Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Gala, thank you for facilitating the entire session.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for the important news and the sharing your knowledge.
My pleasure, sir.
So
Yeah,
appreciate you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay.